Hello, I'm Matt Travis, Managing Director of Enzygo. We're an environmental planning consultancy with 6 offices in the UK. Today I'm talking to Derek Allan, who's our Director of Ecology, who leads that across the UK at Enzygo. We're just going to talk with Derek now about a few best practice examples of where Enzygo's worked on projects and used BNG, which is Biodiversity Net Gain. Derek.
So we're working with a number of clients at the moment to deliver Biodiversity Net Gain, but we're also working with a select number of clients to come at it from the opposite direction and find land that can be used to compensate for other developments in the area or the wider area. A couple of projects in particular down in the southeast where land is in high demand. The land that's developable by the clients is obviously worth a lot of money, so they're looking for alternative land to use to compensate for their biodiversity net gain units. And as part of that, they need us to do a baseline assessment. We work out what the land is worth in terms of biodiversity, tell them how many credits that can achieve, and then that gets translated into financial means. How much is that worth in the money market? And how much is it worth for other purposes as well? For example, it can be combined with use for amenity, for landscaping, for flood defence and hydrology. There's lots of things out there in the market. It's a very big growing market at the moment, and biodiversity net gain combined with building with nature and other nutrient neutrality aspects can be very, very, very lucrative for clients.
And it's one of the things that it seems to me that if you're a client or if you're a large landowner, and you want to provide more land for better habitats and you want to be seen in that in terms of your credentials, it seems as though this has given you a really good opportunity to do that. I do wonder if some of the water companies might do this around their reservoirs and areas that are safeguarded land for them.
It is, and we are actually working with some water companies at the moment. However, they're not making that land available to other people at the moment. They want to keep it in-house for their own purposes and own use. But yeah, like I say, it's very lucrative land. They've got a lot of wasted land that's not currently in use for anything. So to benefit biodiversity, why not use it for that?
So a lot of our clients have got multiple questions on this topic because it's quite new and it's quite emerging in UK planning legislation. So what is BNG, Biodiversity Net Gain?
So Biodiversity Net Gain is now a mandatory requirement under the Environment Act 2021. It's basically a standardised metric which allows you to work out the value of your existing site and what it will be once you've submitted your proposed application and built it. And then it'll tell you how many credits you are going to get, or if you're insufficient in credits, and obviously you have to get a minimum of at least plus 10%.
Okay, so that's all about making sure that developments are now enhancing being an enhancement from what they are at present for ecology.
That's right, that's right. Previously under NPPF, there was just a requirement to demonstrate gain and enhancement, but that wasn't formalised in a metric. The BNG now formalises that and allows clients to, first of all, avoid impacts and then enhance their site design.
Excellent. So one of the things that comes common is how are clients successfully incorporating this into their schemes?
A lot of clients aren't successfully incorporating it, which is the big issue at the moment. So a few pointers to help them out there is think about BNG in the first instance and as early as possible in your site design. It's a big consideration now. It's something that you can't squeeze in at the end, and it's easier to think ahead, especially if you're thinking about planting in ahead, because you can get more credits that way.
So it's very much like where we've worked before, where we've looked at landscaping and drainage and other things. If you start to look at the constraints and build them in early, then that's the secret for getting more success.
Exactly. And using what you've got to start with. There's no point in saying you're going to create vast areas of woodland. If you've got a hedgerow and a pond on site, use what you've got. It's a lot easier and it's more cost effective for the clients.
That makes total sense. And what's the main mistakes clients are making? You said they're not building it in at the beginning, but are there other mistakes they're making as well?
Several mistakes, again. I say that they're not bringing it in at the beginning. If they think about it early on, they can get more credits in the long term. They don't have space within the design, so they need to accommodate that as early as possible. Other common mistakes are they're not employing an ecologist who can do the work to a high enough standard that they're going to maximises the chance of getting planning permission. An ecologist needs to be looking at biodiversity net gain from the start, getting the correct information to advise the clients appropriately, so when they come to do their final design, they can achieve this plus 10% as a minimum.
Sort of plan it right, do it once, and then it makes sure.
Do it by someone who's qualified and certified.
That makes total sense.